Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, everyone. This is Jake, the Muslim Metaphysician. Today, I'm going to do a video. It shouldn't be too long, hopefully, inshallah, which is going to be describing my research process. Now, what do I mean by that? In this context, I'm speaking not only about research in preparation for debates, but also discussions, interviews that I conduct on my channel, meaning when I interview someone, lectures and speaking, um, when I speak at certain events. What is the process that I go through in general when I research? Do I have a research team, an entire team, an army full of people, as some people have claimed, helping me to actually do research for me? Are they reading books for me and by my command, and then reporting back to me summary statements like Spark Notes, and I'm just reading them and regurgitating them? Is this the process that I go through, or is it something entirely different? Now, one of the reasons why I'm addressing this is because there has been a recent accusation made against me in an attempt to, let's say, many different things, to be honest with you. We'll go into that in a little bit. Anyway, there's been accusations against me that I have a research team, and it's been expressed different ways. I have an army full of people helping me. I'm funded by the Saudi government, by petrodollars, all sorts of wild accusations, none of which are true. Okay, and but not only that, even before this controversy or these claims without any basis whatsoever, there were genuinely interested Muslims who would ask me, "Well, Jake, how do you know this, or how do you do this, or you know, where do you get the ability to speak in this manner, or so on and so forth?" So I want to explain a little bit about my research process in general to those who are actually interested, mostly Muslims in the audience, so they can understand some of the my methodology and the work that I put in order to accomplish whatever it is, for better or worse. I mean, whether you agree with the outcome or not, this is what it is. I don't, to be honest, I don't really care. But anyway, what I want to do now is I want to share my screen with you guys, and I want to play a little video clip for you that I posted. Okay, it's here. Let me see. Okay, that I posted on my Twitter page, and let me share it. Okay, should be able to see that. Is that clear? Yeah. Okay. So this is from my Twitter account. If you're not following me on Twitter, fine. You may miss some material that I post here. But anyway, let me play this. This is only a minute long, and just listen to this.
But I heard as well he doesn't even write his own material. It's sort of given by Sharif and Abdul as well. Is that true?
He does not write all of his own material. That is correct. He does not write it all. He does not do all of his own research either. He has, and I don't like, I'm not faulting him. If you have the ability when you're going into a debate to have like a team of people researching for you to help you like make a better argument, sure, I get it. Um, but it's not all him, or that he's had an army of people going through Dr. Khalil's past articles and things. Like he's not giving that info. He's presenting it as in he's just that good.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute speaking this whole time. At least I have some people in the audience who are watching that are able to tell me that I'm on mute. So anyway, so this video here was a short clip from a conversation that an individual by the name of James, who's a Christian, ex-atheist, now Christian, and he has a small YouTube channel. Anyway, I don't want to get into too much detail. The only reason I'm mentioning it is because he's the one he's one of the people in the video. The other guy is an atheist, and so these are a group of atheists and Christian in the chat, and whatever, they're having a casual conversation discussing this. Somebody's saying I'm still muted. I don't think I could still be muted because I'm muted. But anyway, I'll keep going unless somebody confirms that I'm still muted. So these people are just, for whatever reason, I get brought up randomly by this atheist individual, and they start discussing me. There were other things that were said. But anyway, that's for a later time. The relevant portion is these claims being made at me that by both parties, atheist and Christian, that I don't write my own material, that a lot of people, an army full of people, I have an army full of people and a research team that are doing research for me, and that it's not all me. And the reason that it's not all me is because, as James says at the end, I can't be that good. So it appears as if I'm good, and I can't be that good. There's no way, there's no possible way that one man can be doing all this research on atheism and Christianity and topics related to Islam and presenting this material on YouTube and Clubhouse and Facebook and Twitter and all these other different venues. There's no way that one person can be achieving this, and he can't be that good. So he has all these people helping him. This is the conclusion that's made. Anyway, I want to play it one more time, and I'm going to stop it at key portions and comment on it, inshallah.
But I heard as well he doesn't even write his own material. It's sort of given by Sharif and Abdul as well. Is that true?
He does not write.
So the claim or the question was, he said, I heard, meaning that other people are saying this. He didn't just make a claim. Other people are saying this, and he's heard it from other people, that I don't write all of my own material, that some of my material is written by Sharif and Abdurrahman. He said Abdul, but he's referring to Abdurrahman, two of which are my co-hosts on TAP on Thought Adventure podcast. Okay. And he's claiming that they, and maybe some other people, for all we know, are helping me and are writing material for me that I use. And I think in this context, he's mainly talking about debates, okay, that they write material for me. And he's asking the question, he says, well, and this is what I heard, and is this true? And he's asking this to James. And so this is James's response now.
All of his own material. That is correct. Own material. He does not write all of his own material. That is correct. He does.
Okay, so James then confirms and says he does not write all of his own material. That is correct. Here's a challenge to Mr. James. Produce evidence that any of my written material in my statements of debates or anything regarding my debates, that my prepared written material in debates has been written by Sharif, has been written by Abdurrahman, or anyone else. Please make me look like an idiot in front of everybody and produce your evidence that I have that my opening statements and my written material in debates has either in whole or been part has been written by other people such as Sharif, Abdurrahman, or other people as part of my mysterious research team. I'd be happy to see it. I mean, I can literally show you my Word documents, word for word, with all of my opening statements that I myself have written. better or worse, nobody else has written them for me, right? And I can say this, honest to God, nobody else has written these things for me. So where is he getting this claim from? What is his evidence for this claim? Because he's making a very specific claim. And does he have any evidence for it whatsoever? No, he has absolutely none. He has absolutely none. But I'm sure, as he's already done after this video has been produced and after this YouTube video is produced, he'll probably double and triple down on it. And some foolish people may actually believe him, even though he's produced absolutely no evidence whatsoever for his claim. Anyway, let's continue.
Does not write at all. He does not do all of his own research either. He has, and I don't.
Okay, so, and then he says, and he does not do all of his own research either. Okay, this is a very big claim that I don't do all of my own research either for my debates. Well, let me remind the audience here. What is the subject that most of my debates have been on? Actually, you know what? Let me go to my playlist on my YouTube channel, because I have a playlist of my debates on my YouTube channel, and we can look at it. Trinity versus Tawheed. James White and myself. Is the Trinity coherent? Dr. Joshua Sijiwade. Is the Incarnation coherent? Dr. Joshua Sijiwade. Is the Trinity coherent? Dr. Bo Branson. Is the Incarnation coherent? Samuel Green. Do we need the Sunnah, which was with Edip Yüksel? Does the Trinity make sense with Chris Date? Is it impossible to have the divine nature without a deity? Recent one with Dr. Bo Branson. All of them have been on Christianity, and specifically either the Incarnation or the Trinity, except for one of them, which was on Hadith rejection and the Sunnah, which was with Edip Yüksel. And then my most recent debate with Khalil Andani, which was on Ismaili theology and Neoplatonism. So other than one debate with Edip Yüksel on Hadith rejection and the necessity of the Hadith and Sunnah, and my most recent debate with Khalil Andani on Ismaili thought, every other debate was on with Christians, either on the Trinity or the Incarnation. So let's keep that in mind for when we proceed with these claims. Because he's claiming that Abdurrahman and Sharif and these other people, maybe there's a whole another team that I don't even know about, are helping me and doing all this research, reading all these books and reporting back to me, okay, and telling me, oh, Jake, this is what so-and-so says. This is what James White says. This is what Samuel Green is saying. This is what Bo Branson is saying. This is what Khalil Andani is saying. This is what all of these different people, Joshua Sijiwade is saying, and his Edip Yüksel. I mean, I have all of Edip Yüksel's books. You can't see them. I actually should have brought them out. But I have all of his books behind me. I've been talking to the guy for several years. Nobody helped me at all with preparation for that debate or discussion whatsoever. Not an iota. Okay, I've known the guy personally for several years. I have his books over there. I can show you and open them up and show you all the stuff that I have highlighted in there and notes and different stuff. I mean, it's a joke, man. Nobody helped me at all with that discussion in terms of prepping for it and giving me research on Edip Yüksel. No. I mean, and none of this is to say that I'm so smart or I'm so great or no, I'm nothing. Wallahi, I'm nothing. Okay, but this is to defend, for better or worse, whether you think my finished product sucks or it's great or it's in between or you don't give a damn. I'm just telling you the product that I put out there is my own. Okay, obviously, some people don't like to hear it, but that's the fact of the matter. Okay, the same thing goes for my research with Josh Sijiwade, okay, and Branson. You can even watch my initial conversation. It's sort of an informal debate or discussion with Dr. Branson, okay, which I have posted on my channel. People can watch it. Dr. Branson even says, and we discuss it, honestly, you're probably one of the only few people even watching this stream that has read my PhD thesis. As a matter of fact, the Christian host of that show did not even read, and by his own admission while we were doing that, and probably up until today, had not read the subject of discussion, which was Dr. Branson's PhD thesis. I've actually read it. Whether Bo is a fan of me or not, I don't think he is at this point, and that's fine. I don't think he would be that dishonest and say that I didn't read his PhD thesis. I did. I went through the whole thing, 200-300 pages, whatever it is, and I have a digital copy which I can show you all my highlights and notes, commenting on everything he said. Okay. So this is the type of preparation. When I speak with somebody like him, what did I do? I said, okay, who is this guy? I watched all his videos on YouTube, took notes. I read his PhD thesis, which was on the Trinity and the subject matter of which we were discussing and debating. I read all of his relevant articles up until that point related to the subject on the Trinity and anything he had to say about it. Okay, that was my main subject of research. Not a single person helped me in reading or researching anything for that. Okay, and so if you think I did terrible, maybe that's part of the reason, because nobody helped me, right? I think I did great, fine. I don't really care. That's not the point. The point is the subject matter is who's doing the research for me, okay? And whether you like it or not, it's me. Simple. Okay, so I'm just giving you examples. I'm talking about Bro Branson, I'm talking about Debunking. We can talk about Samuel Green, the same thing. To be honest, I didn't even really have to do much research for that debate specifically, other than watching some of Samuel Green's debates. I already had my arguments against the incarnation prepared, which have been by me or through my own research that nobody has spoon-fed to me, and I presented them and I had a debate with them. Simple. Same thing with Josh on the Trinity. Watching and researching his stuff, reading his articles, watching his content on YouTube, same thing. And whatever else I had to read that was related to that topic at the time. Same thing with Chris Date. As a matter of fact, big part of my research was actually that was the only thing maybe that was provided by him or other people, is their own content. He actually exchanged with me before the debate. He said, look, Jake, this is somewhat new territory for me. I'm fleshing this out. I'm going to make a video on my model of the Trinity. I'm going to post it. You can watch it and interact with it. So that's what I did. And guess what? I even returned the favor before the debate. I even made a video responding to his model with another Christian, trying to be objective as we could, and saying, here's what I think Chris is saying. Here are what I think are some potential problems with it. Even before the debate, I gave him some of that stuff, if not most of it. And then I went into the debate and I had a debate with him on it, based on already my basic criticism of the Trinity in general, and then specific things related to his model, which were relevant to his video. So this is the research I'm doing. Nobody else is doing that. Okay. I mean, I could go on and on. Same thing with James White. I've been following him for a long time. And mind you, he contacted me for a debate, not the other way around, folks, contrary to what some people might think. What was my research for that? My research for that was me reading his books, his articles related to the subject, me, what else? Watching his videos, his prior debates, all of that. That's what I've been reading. That's what I've been researching. Nobody was helping me with my debate with James White in terms of research. And God forbid, nobody helped me in terms of writing any of my written statements. Not a single line in any one of my opening statements for any of my debates has been typed or penned by anyone other than myself. Simple. That's just a fact of the matter. And you've already seen, which I can show as well, Sharif has come out confirming that and making statements about this publicly, saying that I can attest that, because he's one of the people named, that I'm not doing this kind of stuff with Jake. Okay, this is not my research and I'm not writing material for Jake. So now What James and other people do, if they want to have to persist in their comments and lies, they have to say that Sharif is a liar. They have to say that Abdurrahman is a liar. This is what they need to do now. Okay, so matter of fact, let me share the screen and I'll show you the comments that Sharif has made. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so this is a comment on Facebook by Sharif, I believe. He comments on one of my posts regarding this matter. As a good friend of Jake and work with him on TAP YouTube channel, Thought Adventure Podcast YouTube channel, I know he produces his own scripts for his debates and does his own research. So now go out and call Sharif a liar as well. Also this. He says, LOL, and he's talking about this video. I get a mention as one of the key guys writing Jake's script. I wish I was that good, meaning he's not writing mine, and I'm not that good anyway, but he's being humble. I can honestly say that Jake does all of his own writings and prep for his debates and discussions. Yes, he's that good. This is what Sharif is saying on Twitter, 2 statements. So I guess he's lying too. We're just in this cahoots and we're all making it up. Okay. Now, let me go back to this this video here, this Twitter thing, and finish playing the rest of it and going through it.
Like, I'm not faulting him. If you have the ability when you're going into a debate to have like a team of people researching for you to help you like make a better argument, sure, I get it. But it's not all him, or that he's.
So he says there, well, I get it, and he's not faulting me, right? If you have the ability to have a team full of people, he says a team full of people doing research for you to make better arguments for you, then I don't fault you. Here's the thing, and I'm just defending myself. If other people do that, fine. That's their business. I don't give a damn what they do. Okay? If you want to fault other people for doing that or not fault other people for doing that, fine. Go ahead. I don't care. That's not my business. I don't sit around wondering or asking if James White has people doing his research for him prior to my debate or even after. I don't care. I don't care. What arguments is he coming with? What arguments am I coming with? Who has a better argument and who's debating better? Boom. Let people to decide. I don't care. Okay. So he's saying, oh, well, he's making a claim, but he's not faulting me for having this. The reality is I don't have a research team full of people helping me for debates. In fact, if I did, maybe I'd do better. Who knows, right? But the reality is I don't. And the individuals that are being brought up, it's not fair to them. Sharif and Abdurrahman, it's not fair to them to claim that they are doing all this research for me for debates with James White and all these other people, and that they're writing opening statements for me when they're not. Okay. Now I will tell you the extent of my research or what people are researching from me in a second. I'll tell you what the extent of that actually is and what the truth of the matter is, but it's not what this guy is claiming at all. Okay. And the reality is, so what I was saying before about you have to keep in mind all of my debates, except for, unless I'm missing some, but in terms of my my debates on my channel, no, I'm not talking about like random clubhouse discussions. All of my actual debates on my YouTube channel, except for 1 or 2, have been with Christians and on Christian theology. And the reality is, and this is no disrespect to Abdurrahman or Sharif, and they'll probably come out and admit this and say this to you as well, but they couldn't really help me prepare for that even if they wanted to. Why? Because that's not their area of research. And why is that not their area of research? And this is me at this point now speaking for them, is because quite frankly, I don't think they give a damn. They don't have that much interest in Christian theology to really be deeply looking into it. So they're not reading books by Thomas Aquinas and church fathers and modern day Christian philosophers and theologians. They're not reading that stuff. Forget about helping me in a debate. They're not reading or concerned with it, period. So how the hell are they going to help me with that? Again, that's not a knock on them, but just make it seem like I'm a big shot because they're reading and researching other things that I don't know about. That's why, as a team, and when I say team, I mean on tap, when we have discussions with people, that's where it comes together. Okay? But on the things that I'm debating, they're not doing research for me. They're not reading books and articles by these Christian philosophers and theologians and reporting me and say, Jake, here's how you strengthen this argument. They're not. As a matter of fact, I'm the one that explains things to them, which I'll get into in a minute as to what the extent of their help or my research team is in anything. But that's the reality.
Or that he's had an army of people going through Dr. Khalil's past articles and things. Like he's not.
And then he says here, notice he says, and he's not telling you that he has an army full of people. And now he's specific here, because here's what I want to say. The whole thing with Khalil Andani is one thing. This video is not even specifically about my prep and research for Khalil Andani, right? Because if you notice, the question in the beginning was very general. This is a general claim that this atheist and that James are making and other people are making. It's not only specific to Khalil Andani, but here he mentions Khalil Andani specifically and says that I have had, well, debate's over now. So prior to the debate, I had an army full of people going through his articles and written material to help me with research. That couldn't be further from the truth. The honest reality is, even when I was doing all my research, which I'll show you all the books, well, some of them anyway, I have more back there and in my room, but just some of them so you understand what type of research I'm doing. The reality is I did pretty much all of the research on Ismaili theology for that debate. And on Khalil's stuff, I was watching his YouTube videos. Again, there's no secret, guys. There's no hidden formula. I'm just reading. I'm reading what my opponent has said. I'm reading what other people I understand, historically speaking, in their similar theological persuasion have said, both historically and then other contemporary people. And if they have a public, if they have their own material, right? I read their own written articles or books in some cases and watch their YouTube videos that are related to the subject we're debating. I take all of that information. I try to understand it as accurately as I can. And then I look for holes in their position or things that I disagree with. And then I boil that down to the most fundamental problems associated with their views in what we're debating. And then those are the positions that I try to attack in the debate. Simple. There's no hidden formula or hidden research team. That's all that I do. Okay? And I do all of this, mind you, while having a full-time job where I'm doing this on the side. And to my own families and maybe my wife's maybe not loving it that much, right? Right? I go to work, I come home after 10 hours of work, and at night when I'm in bed, right, I have a little night light on I'm clamped to my book, and I'm sitting in my bed reading these books and taking notes and highlighting things. That's what I do, right? Again, for better or worse, simple. It's old-fashioned, nothing really special. Sorry to disappoint you guys if somebody who hated my stuff was wondering, what is this guy doing? Or somebody who loved it was looking for a secret formula. Nothing. Just putting time and effort, reading things, taking notes, trying to understand things. That's all I'm doing. That's the honest reality. Okay? I don't have an army, and I didn't for Khalil Andani's debate. I did not have an army full of people reading his stuff and reporting back to me what this guy said. I read his stuff. I can show you that in my phone because a lot of his stuff, since it's a modern day and age, is digital. I can, if we really want to get that deep, I can show you in my phone highlights and notes of articles that I've read of his, in which it's me reading and highlighting. Simple, guys. So, and again, whether or not you think I lost the debate or you think I did wonderful, it doesn't matter. And it's not even about his specific debate, because they made a general claim. I only mentioned him in this regard because James mentioned him by name. But it just couldn't be further from the truth. And with him specifically, the honest reality is Ismaili theology and the Ismailis in general are a minority of a minority in Islam. Not too many people really give a damn about them from the Sunni perspective. I'll tell you, let alone people researching this stuff for me. I had to beg people just to even listen to me talk about it. They didn't even want to hear me I'm the one doing all the research, and then I just go to people and I say, hey guys, I read this and I read this, and here's what I found. They barely even want to listen to what I was researching and then reporting to them and telling them what I found, because they don't care. They're not that interested in it. And that's not to mock the Ismailis or Christians, but the close circle of friends that I've been around, they don't really care about Christian theology. They don't really care about Ismaili theology. They're not reading or researching that stuff, whether for my debates or in general. They're just not interested in it. They're mainly researching topics on Islam, like Sunni Islam, and atheism. And that's what we focus on up top, is atheism, things related to that. Okay? Which I haven't had formal debates against atheists, really. So this is the reality, guys. And I'm not knocking Abdurrahman or Sharif. He didn't mention Yusuf Ponders, but you can throw him in the mix as well. They'll all tell you the same thing. This is a complete smokescreen, guys. They're not helping me with my Christian debates. They didn't help me with Idib Yüksel, and they're not doing research for me for Khalil Andani on his articles and Ismaili texts. They just didn't do it. So if you think I lost, maybe that's why, because nobody else is helping me, and I'm an idiot. Okay. So anyway, let's finish this.
Giving that info, he's presenting it as in he's just that good.
So notice he says Jake is not giving that info. So this info that I have this army full of people doing all this stuff for me, and I'm not presenting that because I don't want people to think that. I'm presenting it, right? And what does he say? This is a key point here.
He's just that good. Presenting it as in he's just that good.
So I'm presenting it as I'm just that good, meaning it appears that I'm just that good, and I can't be that good. I have to have all these other people helping me. Well, it would be flattering if it were coming from someone that I actually respected their opinion and thought that they were knowledgeable, but he's not one of those people. Okay. But the reality is, in general, it would be more flattering statement than anything else. But as I said, it's not reality. It's not what's occurring. So anyway, this was the video. And here's the point, okay? Notice who's in the room. It's atheists and Christians primarily, from what I'm able to tell. Okay? Atheists are making this claim. Christians are making this claim. Khalil Andani, which we know for a fact as well, him and his other Shia friends have been making this claim. Now, I don't know if James Gibson is the genesis of all of it, if he's the one that spread it. I don't think so, because when this atheist guy asked him the question, he said, well, I heard. Well, if he heard from James, would he really be saying that? It would be like me saying to somebody who told me that thing, well, I heard such and such. Well, dude, yeah, I'm the one who told you. So why would you frame it that way? So it seemed like this atheist guy must have heard it from someone else. Allahu Adam, I don't know. Anyway, we have Christians saying this, atheists saying it, Shia saying it. Most likely I don't know if it all came from one source or how it got around, But this is a claim. No evidence has been presented other than what we're going to see in just a second. And we'll just completely dismantle it and show how this is ridiculous. But it's strange. It's really not that strange, because the reality is, look, I've been debating atheists. I've been debating Christians. I've been debating false sects in Islam, whether it be what we consider deviant, or even in the case of Khalil Kufri sects. So the Ismailis. These are the people I've been debating, and these are the people, surprisingly, that are making the charge. Where are all the Hindus coming out making this statement, and the Buddhists? None of them are coming out making that statement. They don't even know me. They don't care. And those who do know me, they don't have a vendetta or a grudge against me to try to make up some foolishness and just run with it. Maybe some of these guys have been duped by other people. I don't know. Anyway, what did I ever? Oh, okay. I read the first one, bro, and then I was like, "What are you talking about?" But anyway, I'm not even gonna read that out. So anyway, that was the video. Then James, interestingly enough, made a response to this, okay, which is on a community post on his YouTube channel. So let's take a look at and see what this guy actually said, and I'll just dismantle it very quickly. So he says, I have no desire to get in the mud with Muslim Metaphysician. That being said, he blocked me and released a clip of me talking about his preparation for the Khalil and Danny debate. Well, mind you, well, yes, I do have you blocked, but you have me blocked as well. And and I did release the clip, but that clip was not merely about preparation for Khalil and Danny debate. It was in general, okay, which was in the beginning, and then you got specific with one thing related to the Khalil and Danny debate later. So you didn't even represent it accurately, but I'll help you out because I know you're not all there. You're not that bright. Then he says, now for my opinion. Oh, this is big. He's going to drop the bomb on us. I was in a clubhouse room when Abdurrahman or Abdul, he's talking about Abdurrahman, and Sharif started to talk about digging into Dr. Khalil's articles before the debate. Okay, stop right there. What's the evidence that he was in such a room where this was said? What's the context in which such a statement was said? And what was meant by such a statement? I, honest to God, don't even remember that conversation whatsoever. Now, what I think at best what would have been said by Abdurrahman or Sharif, or both of them at that point, was to say, hey, Jake, you meaning me, you should read Khalil's articles before the debate. And I probably at that point would have turned around and said, guess what? I already have, or if it was way far in advance, yes, that's already in my mind that I plan to do that. Maybe it was a suggestion from them and me, then I would have replied and said, because I don't remember when this time frame was, I already did it or I plan on doing it. But it would not have been them saying, hey, we're going to read this stuff for you. You don't worry about it. And we're going to report it back to you because we're going to do the research for you. That was definitely not said. And that was definitely, if they did say that, I would be shocked. I don't know anything of that nature. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then he says, I was removed from the room shortly after joining, and I don't normally record Clubhouse, so I don't have a clip of it. So he says he doesn't have a clip of it. So he has no proof. He's just making a claim. He has no proof of what he's saying. Okay. And at best, I'm giving him the context of the best possible thing it could have been was to say, hey, Jake, you should read some of Khalil Andani's article before the debate as a suggestion. That's not helping with that's not doing research for me and writing my opening statements, even if they did say something of that nature. But they certainly did not say, hey, Jake, you know what? We're going to read all of Khalil's stuff for you. We're going to make notes on it. We're going to report it to you. And then we're going to have discussions all about that. And you don't worry about it. There's nothing like that. Then he said, even if I did, meaning have a recording, I'm sure Jake's followers wouldn't believe it. I'm sure if you produced an actual recording of them saying that and showing that we were creating this conspiracy research team, that everybody would believe you, but you don't have any clip of it. Then he says, I have also seen a short clip on the Seeking Truth channel of Abdul telling Jake to check the prep group or something like that. Okay, so let's stop there and let's deal with this mystery clip. Let's see how interesting it is. Okay, on this other channel here. let's take a look at this. Okay, where is it here? Wait. Okay, let me share my screen here because I got a toggle here. Okay. So here's the supposed video. Now listen to this.
Jake, if you get the chance, check your messenger. If you...
So he says, Jake, if you get the chance, check Messenger or your Messenger, and he's referring to Facebook Messenger. On which platform? And then I say, on which platform are you talking about? Because I didn't know. I was saying, what are you talking about? WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, or what are you talking about?
Prep group.
So he says prep group.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Jake, if you get the chance.
And then I say, oh, okay, I'll check it, meaning I'll check your message. So what is, guys, oh my God, this is shocking. What is this mysterious group called Prep Group? Is it this group, which I'll tell you, it's on Facebook Messenger, but how many people are in there? Why is it called Prep Group? Who was it started by? For what purpose? What actually happened in Prep Group at the time? What was he telling me to check as a message? What was he referring to? These are all questions, which none of which are answered, but they're just going off of Prep Group. This must be a mysterious Prep Group, which was created for the purpose of Jake and prepping him for his debates. And this is where everybody does research for Jake, and they tell him the information, and then he sucks it in. This is the idea. Okay, this is the claim. This is what they're trying to put behind all this stuff. The honest reality is none of that is true. Let's go to the genesis. Okay, Prep Group is a group that exists on Facebook, which, guess what, has 4 members in it. 4 members in it. Those 4 members in the group, which actually I'm not even in the group now because I left a bunch of Facebook Messenger groups just because they're distracting me. But in this group was myself and 3 other people. So this big team is 3 other people. That's the first thing. Who are these 3 people? Sharif, Abdurrahman, and another friend called Hatem. These are 3 other people in this mysterious prep group. Now, who created this group and why was it called Prep Group? I'm going to be honest with you guys. It was created for me to do preparation for my debates. No, it was not. Sorry, you guys thought you got me. No, it was not. It was actually, if my memory serves me correct, I believe it was actually created by Hatem. And it was called Prep Group because it was to help Sharif with preparation for a potential debate or conversation that he may have at some point, which he never actually had. So the group was not created by me. It was created by Hatem. It was not created for the purpose of me. And it was actually, quote, created for the purpose of a potential helping Sharif with a potential debate or the discussion that he would have later on. But guess what, folks? He never actually had the debate or discussion, and nothing ever really developed from there. However, we just kept that name and we kept the group because we were already friends anyway, and we just used it as a chat to talk about anything going on here and there. We just kept it as a group to talk. some of which would be related to theological discussions or things just related to everyday life, a wide variety of things. You just talk, hey, did you see this? Did you see that video? Hey, what do you think about this, Jake? What do you think about that? Hey, just discussions about random stuff. That's what the nature of that group was. Okay? So this is the reality. This is the mysterious prep group with 3 people in it. That was the reason it started, and that was the function, the wound up function of the debate of the group. So he was telling me to check a message there. He was just saying, bro, I messaged you on prep group, which is the name of the group. Check my message. Okay? And it had nothing to do, that specific message had nothing to do with him giving me this crazy research for the debate with Khalil and Danny or anything else at that time. So that's the reality. I'm sorry, it's just not that interesting, guys. I'm not that interesting of a person. Okay, so let's go further. And obviously, James is tired, cannot produce evidence to the contrary of this being a mysterious group with army full of people that are doing all this research work for me. He's not able to produce it by his own admission. If he can, we'd be happy to take a look at it, and then you could expose me on it and show that actually, you know, all these people are reading all these things from me. They were reading all these articles by Khalil and Danny, and you know, they were reading all James White's books and watching all his videos and doing all. You could, if you could find that stuff, let's look at it. But you don't have anything other than some hatred and jealousy in your heart, bro. That's the only thing I could really see. Other than that, you've got nothing. You've got literally nothing to stand on. Now, and the other idiot who's posting, potentially other idiot, we don't know who he is. For all we know, could be James is tired on a second account, or it's just somebody very close to him, or anyway, some like-minded individual who's another clown. He or she or whoever they are is honestly so dumb that they're posting this clip and thinking that it's, and creating this whole thing just because the guy said check prep group. Now that comes with this whole story that there's this prep group with 30 people in it and they're all doing research for Jake, and yeah, it's this big conspiracy. It's ridiculous when I just told you the truth of what the group was, why it was started, and what it is, and what it developed into. Okay? And people could put me on a lie detector test. I don't give a damn. And I would pass it with flying colors. This is what the group was, is, and what it started as. Simple. Now, and then he goes on to say, my thoughts and opinions on what I have seen, what I have, and I think he meant to have seen, is based on past experiences and what I've heard with my own 2 ears. No evidence other than just claim. Now he goes on to say, I was in calls with Jake and others for most of the days during the pandemic. We used to be on Facebook Messenger calls with James, but that stopped around a year ago, around somewhere around this time last year, or late summer, maybe, I don't know, July, August, September, something like that. I haven't talked to Guy almost a year. And then we moved to Clubhouse, and him and a few other people from Facebook followed us there, and whatever. We haven't really been speaking since. So yeah, we used to talk frequently prior to last year. I mean, prior to this year. So a year ago. So maybe the first year of the pandemic, whatever it is. That is the only really only thing true he said, is that we used to be on calls. Now, he says, I was personally on calls discussing his prep for the James White debate. Well, were we discussing my prep, or were other people prepping me? Because the reality is, nothing in my arguments that I used with James White were even really new and particular to him. Really, the reality is, and this is not to big up myself or disrespect Abdurrahman or Sharif, but they don't have more knowledge than me on Christian theology. They don't read Christian theology. They don't care about it. And so they're not reading and researching James White's articles, videos, reading his books, reading other Christian theology, reading Calvinist theology, reading John Calvin, and they're not reading anything historical Christian theology, not reading any of that stuff and giving it to me. They're not reading those books and researching it for me and telling me the information. They didn't do that for the James White debate. It just didn't happen. Sorry, bro. It just didn't happen. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Now, and then here's how stupid the guy is. And anybody can see this. And then he says, and for the Aaron Ra discussion. Well, first of all, genius, the Aaron Ra discussion, which wasn't a formal debate, was had on tap with me, Sharif, and Abdurrahman, the three of us discussing with Aaron Ra. And that was on atheism, which I don't have in terms of my other formal debates. I don't have debates with atheists in that way. Most of it's just been informal on tap or my own channel or other channels when I appear, or on Clubhouse or whatever, social media. So, and how stupid can you be? Of course, we discussed and had preparations for the Aaron Ra discussion. That was in terms of communicating. Okay, Jake, what would you like to focus on in the discussion with Aaron Ra? Okay, here's what I'm going to focus on. Here's what I plan on saying. What do you guys think? Okay, Abdurrahman, here's what you're going to focus on and what you're going to mention or here's how we're going to do it, because we need to coordinate. We don't want to make it seem like a 3-on-1 where we're all three jumping on this guy at the same time. We want to coordinate. We say, okay, here, you deal with Aaron Ra in the beginning. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to discuss with him. Then I'm going to come in over here. Here's the points that I'm going to focus on with Aaron Ra. Here's what you're going to focus on. Here's what you could focus on, Jake. It's coordinated effort, because that was a 3-1 discussion where we discussed with him. It has nothing to do with preparation and research for doing debates with me. How are you equating that to James White or Khalil Andani or anybody else? It's just retarded. It has no place even in the comment. This is how dim-witted this guy is. And anybody who is reading this and thinking that is actually relevant. I mean, how stupid can you be? Of course, I'm going to communicate with my co-hosts to discuss how we would proceed with the discussion with Aaron Ra on this topic and who's going to handle what and what are we going to talk about. I mean, come on, bro. Okay, anyway, moving on. Then he says, when the calls got too full, which he meant to put two O's, full, and it was closer to debate time, these guys would move to a different call. And he's trying to make it mysterious. I think he's talking about with the Aaron Ra discussion. I don't know if he means that in general or specific to Aaron Ra. I don't know, because he said to debate time. I don't know if he means in general or what. And what's the evidence of that? I don't know what he's talking about, really. Then he says the sad thing for Jake is that he is so insecure about anyone discussing or sharing opinions about him that he has to go full-scale cover-up mode. Okay, guys, this video, you're right, has been a complete cover-up. I've made up everything I said, and I'm a complete liar. You caught me. Or is it me responding to idiots who are just making things up and have no idea what they're talking about? That's what it is. There's no insecurity or full-scale cover-up mode. Show the cover-up. What is the cover-up? What am I covering up? What am I hiding? And what am I lying about? Nothing. Okay. And he says, in this case, because he is sharing the clips himself, it's made his YouTube audience and Twitter audience aware that several people are giving the same opinion and similar statements. Yeah, I'm very clear about it. And guess what? Most of my audience is laughing. They're saying, Jake, why are you even wasting time with these idiots? We know that none of this is true. What are you even doing? He says, had he not shared it with the Muslims who follow him, they would have probably never have heard of it. Some of them heard of it, and some of them didn't. And I'm addressing for other people, not just Muslims. I'm defending my own reputation and my own research abilities and what I've done. Not anybody else, not the audience, it doesn't matter. And now that they've heard it, they're just laughing at you more. And after this video, they're going to be laughing at you even more, dude. He thinks that, oh, by me bringing it up, I've made it worse for myself because I've exposed myself. I mean, it's a joke, man. Honestly, you can't even make this stuff up in a cartoon. So then he says, also, I've made very minimal comments about this because, frankly, I don't think it's a big deal to have people help you prep for a debate. It's actually smart, which is the same statement he made in the video, and I already responded to this idea. Now, he says, now Jake has been actively sharing personal information of mine. I shared with him along with speculation on that information. Well, he needs to provide evidence of what I'm sharing of his and what I'm speculating about, other than what he's already said publicly and what he's said to other people. I don't know. I mean, maybe he can comment on that and tell us all what it is, what he's referring to. I think I might have an idea of what he thinks I've been sharing around. But he would need to come out and clarify whether or not what he thinks I'm saying or what other people are saying is true or not, and what the issue is. I don't know. I don't know. He would have to say, because I'm being very open here. I'm responding to all these claims, but I don't know. Maybe he's gonna have to come out and tell us. Anyway, the reason why my audience doesn't hear about it is I'm not insecure and I don't hear about his opinion. I don't hear. Maybe he meant to say I don't care about his opinion or speculation. I don't know. It shows his lack of character, and that's between him and God. To be honest, dude, this shows your complete lack of character, and that's between you and God, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? That's between you and Allah at the end of the day. Anyway, James and atheists and the deviants and no, I didn't even include the deviants in that. James and the atheists and the Ismailis, the Al-Khanis, and any other group that is not upon Islam, I want to invite you all to Islam. Okay? I want to invite you all to embrace Islam. Stop with this hatred. Stop with this animosity. Stop with making up lies just because you don't like me, just because I've been debunking your religions or your worldviews, whether it be atheism, agnosticism, Christianity, Ismaili theology, Shiism, whatever. Just because I've been debunking you for the past 2-3 years, don't mean you need to come and hate on me. Come and attack my arguments. Don't attack and make lies about me to say that this ain't me. It is me. And some people don't like me, but it's me. Don't blame it on Abdurrahman or Sharif or anybody else. My research is me. My behavior is me. And that's it. Take it. You like it. You don't like it. Whatever. I don't care. It is what it is. But this is me. That's the fact of the matter. So it's as simple as that, folks. I don't know. Maybe these guys are going to respond even further and make and double and triple down on their lies and foolishness. I don't know. Probably they will. But specifically with this, let me just show you guys something. Specifically with this Khalil and Danny debate, which I've been studying for the past, I don't know, up until the debate, I would say, what, a good 6 months. Let me show you guys something. Let's take a look at this. Let's go one by one. Here's a book called Shia, Interpretations of Islam. 3 treatises on theology and eschatology. Okay. And what are they? Let's look it up. Who are they by? This is by what? Nasr ad-Din at-Tusi. Right? Nasr ad-Din at-Tusi's texts in here going through it. This is, I paid for the book. You know, my wife might not liked how much money I spent on all these books. But don't tell her, guys. Actually, she knows already, so I'm already screwed. But so anyway, here's one book. Now, I challenge Abdurrahman or Sharif to pull up any books on Ismaili theology that they have and show me their notes in it and stuff. Now, let's go to the next one. The first Aga Khan, Memoirs of the 46th Ismaili Imam. I don't need to tell you what that's about. Okay, another one. Very expensive book. Epistles on the Brethren of Purity, on God and the World, an Arabic critical edition and an English translation of Epistles 49 to 51. And look, it's edited and translated by none other, look at it, Look at it, everyone. Wilfred Madlung, the guy quoted, who Khalil doesn't like. But guess what? Who's it published by? Oxford, in association with who? The Institute of Ismaili Studies. So the guy who is agreeing with me in his interpretation of Ismaili thought is funded and published by not only Oxford and doing critical editions of your texts and translations of those texts and commentaries on those texts, but by the Institute of Ismaili Studies, which is obviously an Ismaili organization, which is partly or maybe even full funded by the Aga Khan or the Imam of Khalil and the Ismailis himself. Again, let's go further. I don't want to bore the audience too much, but we could do all this, guys, because Jake's a big liar, so let's just put him through it. Keys to Arcana by who? Shahrastani's Esoteric Commentary on the Quran, translated by Toby Mayer. Okay, again, Institute of Ismaili Studies. Shout out to Institute of Ismaili Studies. They're doing good work as far as bringing these texts to light. We like it. And by the way, let me give a fun fact. Let me pick on the Ash'aris for a second. All my Ash'aris out there, I love you. I got love for you. Okay, we don't agree on everything, but listen, I got love for the Ash'aris. Okay, I'm not one of those crazy takfiris and this kind of thing. I got love for the Ash'aris. Maybe people don't know it, but I do. Even though we don't agree. And on some fundamental points. So I'm not trying to water it down. We don't. But okay, let's make it simple. And even if they don't have love for me, I got love for you guys. Okay, that's fine. You know what's funny? Ash-Shahrastani is supposedly one of the great Ash'ari mutakallimun, or theologians, and he's a reference in Ash'ari Kalam, particularly his book on Ash'ari Kalam, as well as his text on the different sects and deviant sects, which he goes through in details from a historical perspective and speaks about them. Well, guess what, guys? He wasn't actually an Ash'ari. Boom! I dropped the bomb on him. He wasn't an Ash'ari, folks. Actually an Ash'ari, and I'll probably do a separate video on this, but I just want to give you, I don't know, I'm feeling good. I just want to give you a little something else other than this drama and foolishness. Shahrastani in this text, let me show you this. On chapter 1 of his tafsir, look at that. Look at the second paragraph. Do you see that there? Guess who he's quoting in the second paragraph on the first page of the first chapter of his tafsir? Who's he quoting? You see that? In the Kafi of Al-Kulaini. Anybody know what Al-Kafi is by Al-Kulaini is? What is that? That's a Shia text. Now, what Ash'ari, and you can go and I could do a further analysis of this. What Ash'ari do you know that would actually quote a Shia text Al-Kulaini on the first page of the first chapter of his tafsir or commentary on the Quran? Woo! Ash'aris, don't hate on me. I know it's a bomb being dropped on you because this hurts. It's like somebody telling me that, I don't even want to say it, but a big figure in the Ethity school, let's say, was actually a hidden Ismaili. Whoa, that'd be shocking. I'll probably get over it after a couple of weeks. But anyway, this is the reality. What the heck? My light went out here, folks. I got too crazy. My own light went out on me. Oh, there we go. Or maybe I didn't even have it on the whole time. I'm not even thinking. I'm in the dark. I'm sitting here in the dark. Oh, I got ahead of myself. Anyway, so I got this text. You want further evidence. And if I didn't read it, how did I know to open up to that first page, right? I mean, I guess somebody told me about it. I didn't even know, it's just very strange, this idea. Here's another text. Command and Creation, a Shi'i cosmological treatise. By who? Same person. Muhammad Ash-Shahrastani. Right? Again, shout out to Institute of Ismaili Studies. and the Aga Khan. You know what, Aga Khan, I would love to speak to him sometime, but he's busy doing other things, some things which he shouldn't be doing, but let's not get into it too much. But guess what? You know what? Jake isn't doing his own research. He didn't actually read this text, right? Let me show you something. And I'll show you. I mean, people don't like it. Maybe my stuff sucks, but look, you know, I ran at this point. I can even tell you the point. I kind of ran out of highlighter, and I was too lazy to get up. I was in bed, so I just had a pen next to me. I just started underlining stuff. You see that? And then, you know what? But then I said, you know what? This underlining stuff ain't gonna cut it, man. This ain't real research. This ain't real research. How you do it, JB? That's not how you do it. So I said, you know what? I gotta get up. I gotta get my lazy ass up, and I gotta get a highlighter. So I said, I got up and I started highlighting. I can even tell you what I was doing when I was doing the research. But no, I didn't read it, guys. I didn't read this stuff. You know, this wasn't my research. I didn't research anything for the debate with Khalil. I just showed up. I just showed up and I said, the hell with it. I'm gonna smash this guy down. You know, look at that. I even had a different color highlighter. You see, it kind of wore out. Why do you think that the first color highlighter wore out? Because I was using it so much, highlighting all these books. I mean, come on, bro. It's crazy. It's real. But let me give you a bonus, a little icing on the cake for Shahrastani to show you how he was not an Ash'ari. You see this text? You can see it there, starting out above at 75. And then I'm going to go to cap it off with there. And notice I put a little star next to it. That's the way I do it. I put a little star next to it. That means, hey, dummy, this is important. Don't forget about it. So I'm showing you my research. Anyway, so let me read you what it says. So Shahrastani, the supposed Ismail, no, he was actually a Ismaili doing taqiyya. He was not an Ash'ari. So here's what he said, and here's another way we know. He says the anthropomorphists held that there was an essence and a face for God, and their proof was the tradition which says, and he created Adam, alayhi salam, in the image of God. The Karamiyya maintained there is a physical locus and a direction for God, or considered him subsisting in an essence or primordial attribute, jism, or jismi, sorry. Their proof was he is omnipotent over his servants. Quran chapter 6, verse 18, I think is being referenced. Okay, so he's listing all these groups. So he goes to the anthropomorphists, the Karamiyya. Now listen to what he says about the Ash'aris. He's just telling you each their distinctive views and categorizing them in one neat paragraph. The Ash'aris, they believed in an essence and 8 pre-eternal attributes. Their proof, nor shall they compass aught of his knowledge except as he willeth. Chapter 2, Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, verses 255. So this is what he mentions they believed in. The Mu'tazilis, an essence for God and attributional characteristics. Their proof, the living, the self-subsisting. Quran, chapter 2, Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 255, same verse. So notice he's mentioning all of these views or groups and what their distinctive features were in a summarized fashion, very summarized fashion. Then he mentions the philosophers. And the philosophers in essence and negative and relative attributes. Remember that, Khalil. Their proof, what is their proof? Intellect. Now listen to what he caps off this paragraph and says about all of them. And at the root of each denomination, an anthropomorphism tashbih is implied and a negation is necessitated. So at the root of each one of these groups, which mind you includes the Ash'aris, the Mu'tazila, and the philosophers, at the root of each of them is an anthropomorphism or tashbih, likening Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with creation, and a negation is necessitated, meaning we must reject them. So how can an Ash'ari, Shahrastani, describe How could an Shahrastani describe the Ash'ari view and then say they're guilty of tashbih and they must be neglected, or a negation is necessitated, meaning they must be rejected? Now, for anybody who wants, and I could show you, okay, we see at the bottom, just in case people think I'm getting slick. You see the, what do you call it? The Ash'aris, an essence and 8 pre-eternal attributes. What? At the bottom. And at the root of each denomination, an anthropomorphism is implied and a negation is necessitated. Very clear, guys. Very clear. Now, if you even want, as I already done this in the past, we can even show you, 1 second. We can even show you, I do my own research. I might not be the best researcher, but I do my own research. We can even show you where this is stated in the Farsi, in the Persian text. Here's where it starts. Okay, mushabiha, right? That's where it starts. So yeah, I can actually read, guys. I'm contrary to what Khalil thinks. I can actually read Arabic and a little bit of Persian or Farsi just because the letters are similar. Okay, and then you see I highlighted in my section for my debate because it was relevant, the final sentence where he mentioned the philosophers, right? And you'll see, what is it here? The last word. Sorry, this is weird. How am I going to do this? Okay. Okay, you see here is mentioned what? Tashbih. Okay, tashbih. And they must be negated. This is the, okay, so anyway, I don't want to go on too long, but this proves this, and as well as his tafsir and other texts, we can go into more detail, showing that Shahrastani, sorry Ash'ari, he was not an Ash'ari, and although he had a prominent position in Nizamiya, which was an Ash'ari university, he actually was not an Ash'ari, and when he retired, that became clear when he wrote several of these texts, and his Ismaili leanings were shown. We can even show this at the time in which other Sunnis accused him of this. Ibn Taymiyyah narrates this as well. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go here. Hamid, right? Ad-Din al-Kirmani, Ismaili Thought in the Age of Al-Hakim, Paul E. Walker. Well, guess what? I didn't read this book either, guys. I didn't do my own research. You know what? I waited so long after this accusation that what actually, let's further the conspiracy. You know what actually happened, guys? Abdurrahman and Sharif, they were doing all this, and I told them, guys, I'm jammed up. They got me locked down. I know I didn't do any of my own research, so can you guys send me all your books with your highlights, and so I could do it in a video and make it seem like it was actually me? That's what happened. So clip that out and put it up on your YouTube channel, guys. It wasn't actually me who did the research for this, right? And I could do this with all my debates. I can show you all this stuff, right? This isn't just one page. It's all my stuff. And I look, my note-taking and style of research may be stupid, right? But this is what I do, okay? So anyway, that's another test. Let's go to another one. Abu Yaqub as-Sijistani, Intellectual Mystery, Paul Walker, right? Let's go to this. Okay, let's see. Wait, I guess I didn't say, look, I highlighted this, put a star, and I put use, which I'm saying, hey, dummy, when you go back and look at this later, this is something you should probably use, right? But I didn't read this stuff either, guys. I didn't read that. Okay, I mean, how many books do we want to go? We've already got a stack. We've already got a stack, but let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. I don't want to keep you too long, but I just want to show you so I don't have to do another video like this. Early philosophical Shiism. The Ismaili Neoplatonism of Abu Yaqub as-Sijistani. I challenge anyone, a single person in this audience, to raise their hand, put a hand up, and tell me you've read a single one of these books or even a sentence from them. You haven't. So I know, I'm sorry, my audience. You don't really care about this stuff. Bob, I'm telling you. Now look, I just open in the random pages. Use. Look, I'm kind of slow, guys. Pardon me, man. I'm not that equipped. Okay, but this is my research. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm just opening the random pages. I mean, come on, man. What do you want? Another one. You want to go further? Let's go to Nasr Khusraw, Knowledge and Liberation, a treatise on philosophical theology. Okay. Who again? Shout out to Institute of Islamic Studies. We love you. We love and respect you. I mean, come on. We can go through all this stuff. Anyway, there's another text. Let's go. Another one. Ismaili Texts and Translations, The Paradise of Submission, a medieval treatise on Ismaili thought, Nasruddin Tusi. Okay, let's go to it. Okay, let's see. Did Jake read this text? Did Jake read this text and do his own research? Probably. What do you think, guys? No, somebody just emailed it to me. This is fake. This is actually not even real. Wait, hold on. It's real, guys. I mean, come on, man. And now people are thinking, damn, Jake, we think you lost the debate and you actually did all this research yourself. You're an idiot. Okay, fine. Don't care. At this point, I'm just defending the fact that I do my own research, right? Anyway, so let's move on to the next one. One of my favorite books. I actually told Khalil this as well. I think my favorite supposed Ismaili is Nasruddin Tusi because he's a very clear writer. And he actually agreed that he was a very clear writer. Anyway, so let's see. Did Jake read this one too? Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. We did this. Then we can go to the middle of the book. We can show you that. We can even go all the way to the end if you really want it. We can even go to the notes on the translation. I even went to the trouble of reading the notes. Tusi refers here to the Ismaili practice of taqiyya, precautionary dissimulation of belief in the time of persecution, which is sanctioned, blah, 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 blah. I mean, come on. I mean, now, this is a whole stack, guys. And I don't want to keep wasting your time, but I'm just trying to show you something. Okay. Look, I should probably do a workout with this. You know? Oh yeah. I could go to my bookshelf back there, get you other stuff, show you things related to the debate as well. So look, I've got my phone, and also honestly, it's not only physical copies, but I got a lot of digital stuff. You know, let me show you. Let me show you my digital library, or a little something. Let me just give you a glimpse. Because people, you know, I'm not doing anything, right? It can't be me. Jake can't be this good. Maybe it's not that I'm good. Maybe it's just I'm putting in a lot of time, right? So here's a good app, which is called Google Play Books, right? This is a good app. It's kind of really hard to see. This is going to be more difficult for you guys. But anyway, you know what? Maybe I could shut this light off. Is that better? See, I'm not that bright, guys. Maybe I could dim the background light and show it. How is this gonna work? This ain't gonna work. Okay, wait. That's it. Let me see. Okay, that's better. So here you can see interpreting Avicenna, before and after Avicenna, from the one only one comes. Ismaili literature, an anthology of Ismaili literature, Beyond Reason and Revelation. That was another good one, Beyond Reason and Revelation. So let me give you an example of some digital text that I was too cheap to pay for, or maybe I just wanted a digital copy. And, you know, so how they have the book set up, when you click on it, and this is a Ismaili text, you can go to chapters, bookmarks, notes. So I take notes when I read it. So we can go to notes. You see this introduction. Notice page 13. You see all that stuff. Let me click on the first one. It shows you what? That it's highlighted. And then sometimes you could add an additional thing to write something of what you want to say about it. But look at this. Let's look at this. Look at all these notes. Look at all these notes, all these highlights in the book. This is just one book. This is just one book, folks. Look at that. That's just one. Look, I'm only on page 75 right now. We could go, this is show you. I could keep scrolling all the way to the end. Page 94 highlighted. I mean, come on. What do you listen? I don't know what these folks want. What else do we want to do here? Anyway, at this point, I'm probably embarrassing myself with this because I don't even know what I'm doing technologically. I'm looking like a silly person trying to put the phone on the screen and reading this stuff out to you. So here's the point, guys. And this is just for one debate. This is just for one debate. I've got books back there. I've got books in my room. I've got books downstairs. I got books everywhere. Okay. The reality, guys, is I'm a simple guy. I've got a regular job. I'm doing this on the side. I'm reading all these books. I take these debates, these discussions, whatever I put out, this material I put out very seriously. Some people like it. Some people hate it. Some people are lukewarm. That's fine. This is not a discussion to say, hey, you should like Jake or you should not like me. But at the very least, you should give me the dignity and respect and not lie upon my name. I do my own research. I write my own material. I could go and open up Word documents and show you that I wrote them, but then you'll probably claim, Jake, you just copy and pasted that from somebody. That's why I didn't even go to digital stuff that much. I mainly went to the hard copy stuff just to show you I'm reading it, guys. Simple. Now, it's unfortunate because you put in this kind of work and people want to slander you. Why? Just because they don't like you? Look, I don't go around. Look, of all the stuff with Khalil, did I go around telling people this guy's not doing his own research? I don't think he's doing his own research, but I don't think it was very good. I mean, that's probably why he didn't do too well. But anyway, that's another story because you didn't even know that Muslims and that atheists specifically believe that Yadullah is a sifa or an attribute. Well, if he had read this book, which is one of the ones I told him to read, right? He would have seen that. He would have known that. Okay. Anyway, I've got other texts in Arabic and English and whatever else. I've got a whole thing of, I've got a whole collection of Bukhari and Muslim over there and Hadith. I've got Muwatta. I mean, whatever. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I don't need to start telling you about my library over here. But yeah, guys. So this is the reality. This is me. This is my research. This is what I put out. Again, some people like it. Some people don't. It's fine. It's what it is. Let me show you one last thing. Let me just X out of some of these tabs now that we don't really need to get into. Okay. Let's see here. Done with this clown. Done with this. Okay. So let me just open this. Let me open up to Sapiens Institute, which I did. I did 2 courses for Sapiens Institute, which you can get for free online, right? Because all this research I'm doing for free mostly. And that's the other thing. The other people, Khalil and his Shia friends, they claim I'm funded by Saudi. Bro, I'm broke. I ain't funded by Saudi. I wish I was funded by somebody. I ain't funded by anybody. I'm just a guy who works a 9 to 5, comes home and reads books in his bed and highlighting stuff. That's what it is, man. Anyway, let me share my screen. Okay, so here's Sapiens Institute website. Check it out, guys. Here's a course by me, Testing the Trinity, Tradition or Taught by Jesus. Free. How long is it? Almost a 12-hour course, 31 lectures. You can click on it. Hopefully it works. Curriculum. You see all this stuff, different videos, quizzes, all this stuff. Nobody, I can guarantee you, not a single person helped me with any of this research. Yes, I said it. I did it all myself. Again, for better or worse, it is what it is. And people who were there in real time, they saw it too. And if you want, check it out. Same thing. Okay. Christological controversies, Christ over creeds. Another, what is it? How many hours? Another 10, 11, okay, 10 and a half hours here. 28 lectures, curriculum, all stuff here, quizzes, everything going along with it. This is all on Christian theology, philosophy, all this kind of stuff. You can, if you sign up, which you can sign up for free, and I'm not even trying to plug the course. I'm just trying to show you, because this isn't only about, I've been talking mostly debate research, but this is also for my YouTube videos, things I put out, the courses that I do. This, I do my research for it. Doesn't mean I'm not benefiting from other people's work. Of course, I'm reading books. I'm not saying I'm sitting in an armchair and I made all this stuff up myself, but I'm doing the hard work myself. Nobody's doing it for me. If you download the PDF, and you download the PDF for both courses, between the two courses, I have over 600 slides worth of material. And guys, guess what? If you download it or ask somebody that has, it's not just cartoons and diagrams and pictures. It's text after text, giving you citations, quotes from primary source material, secondary source material. Everything I said is fully referenced. Again, whether you like it or not, is there for people to see. Did all that research myself. Put it out there. Some people like it, some people don't. Again, is what it is. Now, I'll even give you, so that's for my courses. This is for my YouTube videos. This is for my debates, even my interviews. When I go on somebody's channel and they say, Jake, we want to interview you, I say, okay, what's up? What are we going to talk about? I try to prepare a little something, or at least mentally get in the mode for it. Also, when I interview people on my channel, go and look at how I conduct my interviews and ask people who have been on my channel for an interview. See if it seems like the questions I was asking them, if it looks like I read their material, if I actually read their stuff. And this is not going to be a knock on anybody's other channel. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm just telling you how I do my stuff, okay? Again, you might not like my methodology, but I'm just telling you, I'm being quite honest, how I do things. Okay, so let me see. Interviews. Let me go to my playlist of interviews. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Now, I might have to update some of my playlists here. Okay, here. Now, okay, so we see some interviews here. I did one with Joshua R. Farris. I did one here with Ryan Mullins. Does the Nicene Creed make Father greater than Son? Go ask Ryan Mullins if it looked like I read his material and I understood it. I can guarantee you almost all these people will say that I was doing great interview, meaning I could actually ask the relevant, proper questions because I engaged with their material. I read their stuff beforehand. I made notes. I sent them their interview questions ahead of time, very prepared for all this stuff. Logical problem of Trinity. I read Dr. Branson's thesis on the Trinity. I could show you that as well in my phone because it was mostly digital, and I've got all highlights of his stuff in there. Same thing with Josh. Then I hosted a discussion between Josh and Mullins, which was very nice. Even Dr. Harvey, who we don't agree on theology, but afterwards he told me, and I don't think he would have a problem with me sharing this, and people could ask him, and he might not even, I don't know, Allahu Alam. We obviously don't agree on theology, so he's not like, we're not best pals or anything, although I like him. I think he's a great guy, even though I disagree with him. I think he wrote a good book in that, you know, he's putting forward something, but I disagree with a lot of stuff in his book. However, you can go to this and see that I read his book, and I can show you Dr. Harvey's book, right, where I have everything highlighted. And he even said to me, Jake, honestly, your interview, and he did a bunch of different interviews and on this book, Transcendent God, Rational World. He did a bunch of different interviews on this, and he said, Jake, in terms of getting in depth into the philosophy and theology of what I wrote, your interview is the best. And I only did it for an hour. Some people went longer. Well, he was kind of caught up. It wasn't the best interview because he had interruptions, and I think the mailman was coming there and dropping off packages and whatever. But anyway, he could tell that I had an informed reading of his text. I was trying to accurately represent him, ask him questions to get him to explain his position. This is kind of research I do for my interviews, whether it be on my channel interviewing somebody, or going on somebody else's channel for me to be interviewed, or teaching courses and classes, or doing debates. This is all me, guys. It's not other people doing it for me. Now, do I want to completely belittle everybody else? No. Do I want to say that nobody has taught me anything and I'm just genius? No, I'm not saying that. I learn a lot from study. I learn a lot from talking to other people. But here, I'll tell you the most, okay, benefit that I get from discussions with Sharif and Abdurrahman and Hatem when it comes to prep group or any other discussions that I have with other people. Specifically, because nobody really cares too much about the interviews and other discussions, what have you. Most people are concerned with this claim about debates. So I showed you all my research and what I go through and my thought process for a debate. Okay. Now, what I do is, because I'm the one doing most of my own research, what I'll do is I'll say, bro, I'll go to Sharif or Abdurrahman or Hatem and I'll say, or someone else, and I'll say, hey, bro, I just read Contemplation and Action by Nasruddin Tusi. Look what he said here. And I'll go and I'll give him a quote, right? Let's just read it, right? From this discussion, it becomes clear that in the terminology of the philosophers, it is an error to speak of God, speak of the first cause in relation to God. And I say, look, Nasruddin Tusi doesn't believe that God is the first cause, and here's why. And then I'll explain it to them, and I'll say, hey, what do you think about that? Right? And then I'll say, and in relation to the debate, what do you think? Do you think that there's a point to be made? Or, hey, what do you, and we'll have a discussion about what research I do, right? And then it'll develop, and they might say, oh, well, hey, I saw this video on something else, and we just have an open discussion. But there's no employing of me asking people to do research for me and having a research team and saying, hey, guys, read all these books for me. You know, go out, buy all these books, get the digital copy, read all this stuff for me. I can't do all this myself, and there's so much to read. I don't do that. I don't do that. And my friends know that I don't do that. And the only people, and actually speaking of Sapiens, let's be honest, guys. I'm friends with the guys at Sapiens. I respect, I love them. But the reality is they're very busy people. They're not doing this research for me. I didn't have a single conversation with Muhammad Hijab or Hamza Sources about my debate with Khalil Andani. And to be quite frank with you, they probably don't give a damn. They don't even care about the debate. They probably, honest to God, they probably didn't even watch the debate and probably never will. Or if they do, be probably never will even watch the debate. They don't care about it. So you're thinking of this team, whether it be Sapiens Institute or TAP or this other random people that maybe Jake's hiring. You know what? Let me call my secretary. Hey, secretary, can I even be doing this YouTube video right now? Again, somebody's probably got me locked in. I mean, what are we talking about, guys? This is ridiculous. You guys are making me seem, which is flattering in one aspect if it was coming from more noble people, but you guys are making me seem like I'm bigger than I am. I'm not. I'm a regular guy. I'm doing my YouTube videos, sharing whatever I think I know, and you like it or you don't. That's it. And I'm doing debates and this and that on the side, whatever. But the Sapiens guys, honestly, they don't care. I'd speak to them once in a while. We talk. We have meetings, but we're talking about how to grow Sapiens. We're not talking about how to grow Jake's debating. We're not talking about who's Jake debating this, that, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to read this book and I'm going to show you. Bro, nobody's doing that. Wallahi, nobody's doing that. Wallahi, nobody is doing that. None of them are help me with this debate in terms of reading anything. We even have a discussion. I ain't even spoke to Hamza Sources or Muhammad Hijab. Nothing, bro, in terms of this debate or any of my other debates. And as a matter of fact, you know what? And that's with this debate. When it comes to Christian theology, and I don't think any of them will have a problem admitting this again, so I'm not trying to disrespect them, but they don't really have much to teach me about Christian theology. Let's be honest. These are people who their main research focus, again, tend to be on other things. And I'm not saying they don't know anything about Christianity. I'm not saying that. But I have more study and information to share with them rather than the other way around. And most of my debates have been on that. Hamza Sources and what's his name? Brother Muhammad Hijab, who are my friends, I'm not disrespecting. They not sit me down telling me how to debate James White and telling me, oh, here I'm gonna do this. Nothing, bro. Not at all. So this is the reality. Anyway, guys, I went on. This is my little rant. We've gone on for an hour and a half. Take it for whatever it's worth. These ones going to make claims. Ask for the evidence, as the Quran says. Produce your proof or evidence if you should be truthful. If you don't have it, keep your mouth shut. Say we don't like Jake. Say we don't like his arguments. Say we think he has bad research. But then it's all on me. It's not on anybody else. It's not on Abdurrahman or Sharif or anybody, Sapiens team, nobody, Ikna. It's not on anybody else. This is me. This is live, straight off the barrel. This is Jake, Muslim Metaphysician, giving it to you. And you like it or you don't. That's what it is. So anyway, I don't really think I need to address this again. This is a one-stop shop video to explain some of my research, prove what I'm doing. And if you still doubt it, then that's your problem. I don't care. That's your problem. Any of these other jokers want to go around doubling and triple down on their claims, they can go ahead, but they've got no evidence for it whatsoever. And in fact, the two people they mentioned, Abdurrahman and Sharif, will never say what they say. And Sharif already came out and said this is not true. Okay? So now you're not only calling me a liar, you're calling Sharif and Abdurrahman a liar as well. So anyway, I could go real deeper, but I don't even want to go deeper into it. This is sufficient. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everybody who's listening in the audience, who's been supporting me from day one or came in later or just came in now. And all the haters out there, it's all love. It's whatever. It is what it is. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you and guide those who seek his guidance. And you know, it's unfortunate, this situation, but it is what it is. And you know, I invite everybody here who watches this video or hears about this later on to Islam, and may Allah guide you. And you know, if you don't like me, go watch somebody else, but don't try to defame me and try to slander me and claim things about me that are not true, because they're just not true. Just say Jake's arguments suck, or we don't like him, we don't like his behavior, whatever. Fine, but don't say I'm not doing my own research, because I am. This is the facts. So anyway, guys, I don't want to belabor the point too long, but as always, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. If you don't, unsubscribe it, don't watch it, don't like it, and share it if you really like it. Share it, get this out there. If people want to know how I do research, I've already explained it. Honestly, I was planning on doing another video, a last video on Khalil's final two arguments. Now I'm contemplating whether or not I should even do it, just because people are telling me they're tired of hearing about Andani, which, by the way, this video was not mainly meant to be about Andani. Okay, I was just responding to a general claim that I don't do my own research, explaining that I do. And I went in specifically because that was the most recent debate I had, so I had all my stuff available to show that. And some of it I have more even in the other room. But anyway, guys, this is the situation. I hope that you benefited from this video. Sorry for some of the drama that's been going on. But I've been being attacked from all angles by the Shia, some Sunnis, some Christians, atheists, Hindus, everybody. You know, all the kuffar are trying to unite against me. And you know what? Let me play this last, after everything I explained, let me play this last the video one more time. So let me, after hearing everything I said, let me play the video one last time, and you think about whether or not, in light of what I said, that what is said in this video seems accurate to you or not.
But I heard as well he doesn't even write his own material. It's sort of given by Sharif and Abdul as well. Is that true?
He does not write all of his own material. That is correct. He does not write it all. He does not do all of his own research either. He has, and I don't, like, I'm not faulting him. If you have the ability when you're going into a debate to have like a team of people researching for you to help you like make a better argument, sure, I get it. But it's not all him, or that he's had an army of people going through Dr. Khalil's past articles and things. Like he's not giving that info. He's presenting it as in he's just that good.
So there you have it, guys. I'm just presenting it as if I'm just that good. Well, you said it, not me. I'm not making the claim. And as for those people who are saying that I had a team doing research of all Khalil, this is just a stack of just 10 books. I just selected 10 books that I read, and there's more that I read, and I showed you digital copies as well, Reason to Revelation. I showed you my notes and highlights for all that. There's plenty more of articles, and I could show you Dr. Khalil's articles on my phone, which, by the way, he tried to delete when he noticed that I was downloading all his stuff, which, yeah, I found out about Khalil, that he actually deleted. You want to talk about dishonesty? When he found out I was downloading all of his articles on academia.edu, because you get notified, the person who publishes or uploads their articles, they get notified when somebody downloads their article. So he saw, wait, somebody's downloading all my stuff. What am I going to do? And guess what he did? He actually deleted one of his articles. Well, it's like, I know you're not that bright, but hey, dummy, if I already downloaded it, what sense does it make for you to delete it now? I already got it. It's too late. So I've got that article. I've got the other ones of him on my phone. And I got digital copies, highlights, and everything. We can go even more further than that. But anyway, guys, mashallah, tabarakallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. I appreciate the support or anything that you guys, just from you guys watching. Make sure you share and like this and subscribe if you enjoy it. If you don't, do all the opposite. Unsubscribe, don't like, don't share. Anyway, much love. As I said, I might do another video, but I responded to 8 of the 10 arguments. I could very easily do the other 10. I mean, the other 2, but some people are complaining. They don't even want to hear about Khalil Andani anymore. So anyway, it's ijtihadi matter. And I'll see, maybe in the next week I'll do a video. If not, then I won't be doing another video on that subject. But anyway, guys, until next time, inshallah. And just remember what the Quran says, what we do. And it's not us. It's by the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بل نقذف بالحق على الباطل فيدمغه فإذا هو زاهق ولكم الويل مما تصفون. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Until next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.